Hi there. This is a step-by-step guide on how you can go about starting a side hustle. And actually, I'm also going to share with you 5 best areas you could look to jump into for you to be able to start your side hustle. So, watch the entire of this video because I'm going to share with you step-by-step guide on how you can go about coming up with your own side hustles, and also 5 areas you could look to jump into for you to establish a formidable side hustle. And by the way, you need to understand that actually even the kind of businesses out there began as a side hustle, began as a hobby, as a by the way, and then over time they were able to blow up outside the proportions which those founders thought about to become very big business entities. For example, something like Facebook began by Mark Zuckerberg working on a simple code, working with friends in his dormitory at Harvard, and then right now we're talking about almost 20 years later, it has grown to become a very big business entity, and Mark Zuckerberg is worth upwards of $85 billion. That tells you a side hustle or a simple idea could grow to become a very big thing over time. Having said that, you are all much welcome to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagza Sifuna. And by the way, if you are new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe because I'm out here bringing you awesome insights around personal finance, investing, and how best you can go about thinking about business ideas. And also, if you're still at it, kindly consider liking this video because when you like it, many more people out there are gonna be able to get this awesome, insightful content. Having said that, how exactly can you go about developing a side hustle? We all need to understand and appreciate that actually developing a side hustle is a brainstorming thing which you need to come up with, and even so, think a lot about it before you settle on any particular side hustle out there, right? And the very first thing which you need to do is actually to research. At the base of anything you do out there, more so if you're putting down money, you need to research. Because through research, you're going to be able to understand the options at hand. For example, do you need to start a side hustle around making furniture or selling furniture, or even so, promoting furniture? All these are possible conduits, but you need to research for you to understand the options at hand, and even beyond that, know the pros and cons of each option, and even at the next level, have a deeper understanding of possibly the income or the profit possibilities of each of these options out there. And also beyond that, what is the requirement of you? What kind of effort will you need to put in for you to be able to get this side hustle off the ground? So spend a good amount of time doing research. And you can do research first of all from what you're thinking about, and also from the market perspective. What is out there? How does the competition look like, and so forth, before you even settle on any side hustle out there, okay? And then the second thing you need to do for you to be able to settle on a side hustle, and I really encourage you to do this, is you actually settling on a side hustle in an area you have passion. What do I mean? I know when it comes to making money, passion is secondary. Most of the times people out there do what they can do, and then passion is secondary. As long as you can do something and you can make money off it, well and good. But if you're thinking about truly growing a business over time, I'd really encourage you to start a side hustle in an area which you are passionate about. Maybe let me give you an example. Maybe you're passionate about computer science, things around programming, things around new technologies, and so forth. Why not start a side hustle in this space? And I'm saying so because you need to understand that actually for you to be able to start a side hustle and get it off the ground is quite tedious amount of work. Things don't happen overnight. You need to burn midnight oil. You need to put in your all for you to be able to see a side hustle become a full-time business. And with that, you're gonna really get bored real quick. You're gonna drop along the way if you're not passionate. But if you have passion for it, it's gonna mean that actually you're gonna be working late night. You're gonna be waking up early in the morning at 3 a.m. to work on a side hustle without you feeling like it is work. Reason being, you are very passionate about it, okay? So consider a side hustle in an area you are passionate about. And then the third thing you need to consider when coming up with a side hustle is that have very clear goals and growth targets. One of the mistakes people do out there, whether it is in the side hustle space or even in the normal business world out there, is that they work blindly. Guys, there is no way you can achieve greater heights when you are working blindly. So ensure you have a very clear goal. What are you working towards? Okay? And even beyond that, have very clear growth targets, which are going to assist you work towards something which is very measurable, something which you're going to know if you have achieved or not. And even so, if you haven't achieved, what mechanisms do you need to put in place for you to be able to continue working towards your target, which overall inform the bigger goal. So when developing a side hustle, also have very clear goal and targets which you're working towards, so that you know you are working towards something. You aren't just moving blindly, because if you move blindly, you're gonna keep mark timing at the same place and you won't be able to make any meaningful gains. So ensure you have a solid plan around what's your goal and also what you're working towards. And then the fourth consideration when it comes to developing side hustle is sometimes seek opinions from experts, from friends who have already been there and so forth. And I'm saying opinion, not advice, because at the end of the day, it is you to decide what you are going with, okay? Opinions are good to listen to, but ultimately, you are the decision maker with regards to what you're settling for. But if it's a new area, you haven't really been in business before, it doesn't hurt to get insights from people out there who have been there before with regards to what are the things you need to look out for, how best you can get this off the ground, and also how best you can go about growing your side hustle. And if you do that, you're gonna be at a much better place as opposed to someone who is not seeking insights from people who have been there before. And then the fifth thing you need to do when you're thinking about starting a side hustle is right from the upfront understand that patience goes a long way. You're gonna need to be patient. And I'm saying so because a good number of people out there start side hustles in the hope that within 1 month they're gonna be making a profit. Within 3 months they're gonna be making a profit. Guys, just like any business out there, it never works like that. It's gonna call for you to work super hard. It's gonna call for you to burn midnight oil. It's gonna call for you to put in months of work for you to be able to see any return of your initial investment. And with that, it calls for you to be patient right from the onset so that you can be able to see your side hustle grow over time. And the most important thing is you steering your side hustle to the right direction without really failing along the way or even giving up. Because it's those people who don't give up who ultimately enjoy the benefit of what they are pursuing. And having said that, here are the 5 possible areas you could look to start a side hustle in and be able to make a very formidable income or even build a solid business over time. And I'm going to summarize for y'all. The first area is an area which actually is powering internet consumption. What do I mean? Things like, for example, content creation, social media businesses, and so forth. All these are formidable areas you can look to start side hustles in and be able to make good amount of income. And then the second area which you can look to start side hustle in and be able to make good amounts of income, because also it has high demand, is that area which is powering knowledge sharing and also powering creation of content. Guys, I'm talking about things like, for example, online writing, you developing tutorials, you doing data work and so forth. All these are actually powering knowledge sharing and knowledge creation out there, okay? If you can look to jump into this area and actually build something out of it, be sure you can also be able to create a very good and scalable side hustle. And then the third area you can look to jump into for you to be able to create a good side hustle is you selling specialized products. I'm talking about, for example, you jumping on a given e-commerce platform out there, you starting your own marketplace, or even so, you doing freelancing. All these are geared towards you selling a specialized product or service out there. Also, these are possible side hustle areas which are greatly appreciated. More so if your area is very, very specialized and you are among the few people out there who are doing it, or even so, who are pushing products in the market. This means you're gonna be able to make insane amounts of money. And then the fourth area which you could look to jump into and start a side hustle in is you starting a side hustle in an area powering traditional business areas, more so around consumption. I'm talking about things like, for example, doing small scale farming, you doing beekeeping and so forth. These are also potential side hustle areas, more so those which are doing it at a small scale and addressing a very specific market. Like something like, for example, beekeeping. We're talking about you harvesting honey, selling to markets out there. This can start as a small side hustle, and then over time, you can be able to scale for it to become a fully fledged or formidable business entity. And then the fifth area you can look to jump into is you assisting others, assisting others be in business. And some of the ideas or side hustles around this area are, for example, you doing influencing, you doing affiliate marketing, and so forth. Also, these are going to be able to assist you scale over time, because day in, day out, we're seeing the growth in the business world. Small entities, companies, and so forth, seeking those people who can assist them sell. Those people can assist them get leads. If you can't be able to jump into any of these 5 areas, be sure you're going to be able to build a formidable side hustle, more so if you follow the step-by-step I've shared with you in the previous section too. Over time, you're going to be able to build a formidable side hustle, which is going to a long way in assisting you be able to build wealth, be able to make income, and even turn it a whole full-time, full-fledged entity. What do you think about this? I hope you've gotten an idea with regards to how you can go about setting up a side hustle, and most importantly, some of the side hustles you could look to jump into for you to be able to make money. Thanks a lot for watching. I look forward to share with you other awesome videos next time. Bye bye, and you all take care.